Good morning, my fellow Rotarians. This is Dr. K. N. Singh from Johor Bahru with my comments on what's trending in Malaysia today. Endemic corruption is what is being talked about in the social media. When you look into it, one is shocked as to how extensive that has become and how little is being done about it. It is not that the new government is not doing anything about it, but what is being unraveled is mind boggling. In our AG report in 2018, it was reported that subsidies were paid to 11,712 dead farmers and another 5,099 farmers could not be found. A total of 57.92 million was paid out as subsidies to people who did not exist. It was also found that paddy fertilizer subsidy payment was paid out and it was exceeded by 178 million ringgit from what was actually allocated. Now, who's in charge of this scheme? I'm sure MACC can easily find this out and the corrupt can be brought to book. The corrupt, in addition to being jailed, sadly in Malaysia, the higher you are in the Malaysian hierarchy, the lesser your chance of getting a jail sentence in Malaysia. The perpetrators must be made to return the stolen money. The family properties must be investigated and sold to pay the debt if they were not properly acquired, as this debt was incurred by taxpayers' money. Why don't we learn from how our neighbors do things like India? India dealt with the corruption in the civil service and politicians in a very novel way. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, made every farmer open a bank account, and now 88% of the rural Indian farmers have bank accounts. You can start a bank account with as little as 50 rupees in India, and the government puts money directly for all fertilizer subsidies and any other subsidies directly into the farmer's account. Last year, India opened 442.3 million new farmers' accounts so that they could get their subsidies direct. They are not like Malaysia, channeling through a contract company that is run by a political crony of the government that steals most of the money by registering dead farmers as benefactors. How low can we get, guys? If these people are not caught by the MACC, then we can only believe that there is either no political will or these people have the government or MACC protection. Next is our civil service. Malaysia's bureaucracy is one of the biggest in the world, with 1.7 million civil servants in a population of just 32 million. The ratio is 4.5%. In Singapore, the ratio is 1.5%. In Hong Kong, it is 2.3%. In Taiwan, it's 2.3%. We actually spend 41 billion ringgit. I repeat that for you. 41 billion ringgit a year to upkeep our civil servants. The growing trend in the world is to reduce the civil servant numbers. In Malaysia, particularly in the Prime Minister's department, we have done just the opposite. We have more than doubled our civil servants from 21,000 to 43,554 in 2019. Now, in stark contrast, the White House in the US only employs 2,000 staff. There are so many ministers in the PM's department, and in 2018, when Tun Mahathir headed the Pakatan Harapan, he even appointed special advisors to the ministers to give jobs to the unemployed politicians. They were supposed to write a report on the problems in Malaysia, but this if ever it was completed, was never made public. As far as 2010, the then CUPEX president Omar Osman revealed that 418,200 civil servants, or rather 41% of the total number in the civil service then, were suspected of being involved in corruption. According to the 1980 census, more than 80% of all government executive officers were Malay, while 96% of all Felda settlers were Malay too. In Malaysia, Madini, if we are expected to join the community of high-income ASEAN nations, our civil service should represent all peoples. The Malaysian civil service should represent all the races in proportion to their population in Malaysia. We look forward to the new government headed by Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim steering this country to equality and prosperity for all communities who are willing to work hard and are given equal opportunities. I know we can make Malaysia great again, but we have to do this together. The Malays, Chinese, Indians, Ibans, Dayaks, we must all come together, and I know Malaysia can be great again. Thank you for listening, and until we meet again, this is Dr. Kian Singh thanking you, and I will continue to highlight public issues with the hope that public awareness will be a leverage for the government to act and not be forced to protect racial corrupt groups. I would appreciate if you could give me your views and like these podcasts and pass them around if you agree, so that I can make the next podcast better. Take care. God bless Malaysia.